And the Spurs will be in the penalty as Bonner will come in for McDyess, who goes out with 10 points. Sean Marion staying with Manu Ginobili. Duncan on the pick and roll gets the field goal. Tim Duncan. And that is the 5th lead change in the last 2 minutes. 16 for Duncan. Jefferson defending Butler. 8 on the clock. Nowitzki going in against Bonner. No basket. And the Spurs now in the penalty, and that'll be the 3rd against Dan Bonner.
Let's go back. We see Ginobili always knowing where Tim Duncan is, hits him at the right time. Duncan has the angle, turns the corner, and makes sure this time he's not getting this shot blocked for sure.
4 world championships for the San Antonio Spurs since Tim Duncan has arrived on the scene, and Dirk Nowitzki saying they have what we want. We want to get our first. And we're looking for our 6th lead change here in the last couple of minutes. Gregg Popovich in his 13th year with San Antonio. And Dallas again up by 1.
Dirk only shoots 92% from the free throw line. In the 4th quarter, you foul him, your hands full.
Bonner setting a screen for Ginobili, picked up by Nowitzki. Bonner is a 3-point threat. Kidd knows it, came in, and there is Parker, and the rebound Butler. Spurs not going for this offensive rebound. They want to get back against this fast break style. Here's Nowitzki posting up against Bonner. Ginobili ready to help. Repost. Turnaround. Another one. Dirk Nowitzki. Unbelievable tonight. 27 points. And a timeout.
Nick, once you get Nowitzki to give the ball up, then come around and don't let him catch it again. Bonner does a good job initially, but then when it goes right back to Nowitzki, he catches and simply shoots up over the top of Bonner.
3-point lead for Dallas over San Antonio, and the veteran stars are the Spark Plug. Manu Ginobili with 21 points on 9 for 12 shooting. Dirk Nowitzki out of sight with his 10 for 12 shooting, 27 points, making him from every possible angle.
You know, Nowitzki in the newspapers today was describing Gregg Popovich, the coach of San Antonio. He said, Gregg Popovich is a defensive genius. He said, I know I'm going to see all kinds of defensive schemes against me tonight, and Pop is brilliant at the defensive end of the floor, and he's still trying to figure out how to stop Nowitzki. 27, 10 of 12.
Hey, the turnover story has changed dramatically in this game. Duncan going up, and Dampier gets the rebound. Mavericks had an 11-point edge over the Spurs off of turnovers in the first half. It's 8-0 San Antonio off of Maverick turnovers here in the second. Under 4 minutes. And there's Nowitzki again with Bonner. And the basket counts, and an and one as Bonner commits his 4th personal foul, and Dirk Nowitzki now with 29.
He just simply knows that he's bigger and can jump a little bit higher than Bonner, so he just creates that space by leaning into him, elevates, shoots it over the top. He has 29 right now. This is exactly what he averaged against San Antonio during the regular season in the 4 games.
And of course the 41 he had way back in November, which was his season's high. Dirk Nowitzki was 7th in the NBA, averaging 25 a game in scoring. 31 years old, and he knows he has a couple of years left, as he told us earlier, and this could be the best chance most people feel for the Mavericks to advance very far. 7-0 Dallas run, all the points coming off the hand of Nowitzki. 10 on the shot clock, and they're going to call Jason Terry with the foul. Terry struggling in this game, 0 for 5 from the field, and committing his second here.
You'd have to mention Jason Terry's name as one of the prime candidates for Sixth Man of the Year.
No question.
Jamal Crawford, Atlanta, another one.
6-point Dallas lead. So when the Spurs made it close, took the lead in a back-and-forth game, Nowitzki took over, but now Duncan with a chance to come back leading his Spurs, and a chance for the and one here. 18 for Duncan, and he can cut the deficit to 3.
Each team finds a way of answering it just when the other team might be opening it up a little bit too much. Let's face it, you think this is going to wind up being a close game at the end, but you can't let one team go on an 8-0 spurt and open it up. So Duncan answering immediately with that basket. So important for the Spurs.
Roger Mason has come into the game for San Antonio. Keith Bogan's in there as well. Duncan cannot convert the three-point play. And Roger Mason committing the foul. So Mason with Bogans, Parker, Jefferson, and Duncan in there now. And a shooting situation. The penalty will send Dampier to the line. And as Dampier shoots the first, a look at the upcoming national TV schedule in the playoffs. TNT Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, Game 2. Chicago will be at Cleveland, and Utah will be at Denver. Tuesday on NBA TV, and that'll begin at 6:30. Game 2 between the Bucks and the Hawks, followed by the Trailblazers and the Suns in Phoenix. Friday night on ESPN at 7 o'clock. Game 3 between the Celtics and the Heat, followed by the third game of the series between these teams, the Mavericks and the Spurs, and then ABC on Sunday at 12:30, Game 4, Boston and Miami, and Cleveland at Chicago. 1 out of 2 from the line for Dampier as we approach 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Duncan looking inside with 8 on the clock. The lead is 5 for Dallas. Short with it. Good defense on Duncan. And here come the Mavs again. Bogan's claiming he's being held by Nowitzki. And a foul called against Roger Mason. That's 3 on Mason. And Dampier is on the free throw line where he is 1 for 4. And all coming here in the third quarter.
If you're Greg Popovich right now, you're looking at tonight's game and you're saying, look, 2 guys that would be in my top 8 players in a rotation. One would be George Hill, the other Richard Jefferson. They went out and acquired Jefferson to give him a little more firepower to go along with the big 3. Right now, Jefferson just 1 of 3, 2 points tonight. George Hill, bad ankle, we understand that, but 0 for 2, 0 points tonight. So 2 key guys not contributing very much to the cause yet. The Spurs hanging around.
And you're right, Hill, who started 43 games in both guard positions this year, average over 12 points a game. Dampier, again, 1 out of 2 from the line. So it's a 6-point Dallas lead in the latter stages of this third quarter, and Parker is fouled going in. And that'll be the 3rd team foul against the Mavericks and the 3rd against Jason Terry.
We had mentioned in the first half how few free throws, only 3 at halftime for the San Antonio Spurs, and that's one of the things about this Dallas team, that they don't foul a lot. I remember when Lenny Wilkins was coaching, I used to always say, gee, when you play Lenny's teams, you never get to the foul line. They defended without fouling, and that's one of the things that Dallas does very well. They defend without fouling.
Jose Barea will replace Jason Terry. And that's why they call them free throws.
And they give up just around 22 free throw attempts per game, which is 5th best in the league to their opponents. And right now, only 4 for San Antonio.
Tony Parker cuts the lead to 4. Parker now with 10. So free throws aren't that free when you play the Dallas Mavericks.
And you see what they're doing right now. They are intentionally sending Dampier to the line, fouling him until he makes enough free throws. So this is, can we call it hack-a-Dampier? Doesn't rhyme or go, does it?
We'll come up with a verse.
Okay.
Well, the Dallas defense, you mentioned it earlier, tightened it up a lot this year. Marty Snyder has more.
Yeah, I talked to Dirk Nowitzki about that, Dick, and he said after the trade, that was really big for them because they became a much tougher and deeper team. He said, I promise you, in this playoffs, we're always known for our offense. We're going to be known for our defense in this playoffs. A sea change, if you will, for the Mavericks. They really played very good defense the second half of the year, and Coach, you know, huge difference if you can play defense like that in the playoffs.
It's all about winning with defense in the playoffs. You have to get stops at critical times if you're going to wind up moving on.
You can't win a championship without playing defense. Tooth for tooth from the line, and the crowd, Mavericks, maybe is happier than the crowd that Dampier made the free throws. 6-point lead. Nearly 2 minutes to go here, and the pick and roll.